Have you ever noticed that a select few people seem to glide through life, winning without breaking a sweat? You watch them navigate office politics, build wealth, and make complex decisions with an ease that feels entirely unfair. It is tempting to write off their success as a byproduct of a high IQ, a massive head start in resources, or simply good luck. But the reality comes down to how they process daily noise. Most of us operate in a constant state of exhaustion. We spend our days swatting away perceived insults, rushing to answer every email, and letting sudden fears dictate our schedule. We treat every single conflict as a battle that must be fought, operating entirely on one narrow question: what do I want right now? The people quietly pulling ahead operate on a proactive mental system. Where the ordinary mind reacts to the present, the strategic mind prepares for the future. Strategy is the art of making the current decision serve a sequence of future ones. It is the antidote to a life of reaction. Strategic thinking always begins with strict emotional control. Imagine a perfectly still lake. The water is so clear you can see straight to the bottom. This is the strategic mind at rest, capable of seeing reality exactly as it is. When a sudden threat appears, an angry client, an unexpected bill, or a personal slight, it acts like a heavy stone thrown into the water. The surface ripples, the mud stirs, and suddenly you can't see a thing. The ordinary person makes their most critical decisions in this exact moment of blindness. The strategist feels the exact same fear and anger, but they refuse to act while the water is murky. They pause. They step back and analyze who threw the stone and what actually motivated the throw. Instead of lashing out, they use silence. By holding their tongue, they force the other side to keep talking, gathering valuable data while protecting their own limited energy. Emotional mastery allows you to ignore the petty skirmishes that drain everyone else. By preserving that clarity, you ensure you only engage in the conflicts that actually drive your life forward. Once you secure your internal reactions, you can accurately assess the people around you. Most of the world operates on face value. We listen to the promises people make and trust the polished versions of themselves they present in meetings or relationships. The strategic thinker heavily discounts spoken words. They strictly monitor a person's physical behaviors, their track record, and the choices they make under pressure. This diagram illustrates how we process human behavior. Someone might claim they want a higher salary, that underneath their actions point to a deeper psychological need for respect or control. Often, people are blind to their own motivations. They will tell you they want advice when their physical behavior proves they only want to be heard. Because of this, the strategist relies on time. A self-serving person will vanish when a situation becomes difficult. By simply waiting and observing multiple decisions over months, true character always surfaces. You stop getting manipulated when you tune out the noise of what people say and anchor your decisions strictly to the undeniable data of what they repeatedly do. This clear-eyed view of reality dictates how a strategist executes their daily choices. When faced with a free evening, the typical choice leans toward immediate comfort. We pick the couch and the streaming service because the reward is instant. This chart shows the specific chronological filter the strategist uses to evaluate decisions. They run every option through this timeline and ask, what is the precise impact of this choice in 6 months? What does it look like in 1 year? And where does it put me in 5 years? The easy choice spikes your comfort today, but leaves your 5-year trajectory flat. The difficult choice, like studying a complex new skill, takes an immediate dip in your current comfort, but eventually compounds into massive exponential growth. Zooming out like this changes how you handle risk. You see failures as raw data points on a multi-year timeline. You take calculated risks confidently because you've anticipated the patterns of the market or the behavior of competitors before you ever committed your resources. Winning over the long haul requires the discipline to absorb short-term dips in order to collect outsized compounded rewards down the line. Influence doesn't require a high title or a loud voice. It accumulates through consistency. When your actions over time match your words, you become a fixed point that others naturally navigate around. People start to yield to your perspective, not because they are forced, but because your track record proves you've already accounted for the variables they're currently struggling with. The person operating at this level stops looking sideways. Your competition is never the coworker in the next cubicle or the rival business across town. The only metric that matters is whether you are outperforming your own past self. You face a binary choice. You can remain a victim of circumstance, perpetually reacting to the fires other people set, or you can embrace silence, observe the patterns, and become the architect of your own reality. A slow, deliberate movement toward a defined objective will eventually overtake high-speed action that lacks a clear destination. The quiet strategist wins because they refuse to participate in a frantic, reactive game. By the time others are reacting to a change in the environment, the strategist has already accounted for it. They aren't scrambling for their next move. They are operating within a sequence they've already mapped out.